Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Joey Francis, your life, love, and relationship coach. Thank you so much for joining me. Why do we find good, stable people boring? And why are some of us just so attracted to toxic people? Well, let's start off with the obvious. When you know what's going to happen, essentially what to expect, life just seems less exciting. And when it comes to dating and relationships, some people tend to reward inconsistency with more time and attention while turning away from what's stable and predictable. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that seems absolutely preposterous. Because if we were to go out and ask a bunch of people what their perfect relationship would look like, or how they would want to be treated by their significant other, including asking ourselves, chances are the words stable might be in there, including predictable as well. But in practice, many people, not everybody, go after that avoidant or narcissist almost because of the inconsistencies that they provide, which is sort of providing that excitement. It's like the idea of not knowing what to expect with these people. You can literally say and do the same thing every day. And one day they might praise you for it. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. You were so sweet. You were so incredible. Thank you. And then on another day, how could you? How dare you? Like, nah, I, I can't even believe that you would do this to me. And it's this hot and cold game that goes back and forth. Now, where does this come from? I have a few ideas, and I know a lot of people out there have ideas. But I believe that it is a confusion between love and perceived value. Now, the funny thing is that there are some people out there that have decided love isn't for them. Chances are they were married, had kids, had a family, and maybe had a messy divorce, or have just been in one broken relationship after another to the point that they are literally looking to date for value. And unfortunately, this perceived value favors these types of people. Now, what I mean by perceived value is that as we grow up, we learn that things that are rare tend to be valuable. Things that are hard to obtain tend to be valuable. Things that we have to work very hard to get, or maybe even chase, see where I'm going with this, tend to be valuable. And now that's being carried over into dating and relationships, where unfortunately we are valuing people that are showing these types of traits. And when someone does the opposite and puts in time and effort, we see them as being needy and desperate, which is very unfortunate because that's where real value lies. What boggles my mind about this is that there are a lot of women out there that are looking to be chased. They want to be chased. And there are some men, obviously, that want to be chased too. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out for them. But the funny thing is that if they are this type of person, even though they want to be chased, what ends up happening is that the minute someone comes along and puts it in that effort and shows up and it's like, hey, listen, I'm doing what you want, I'm chasing you. They're just gonna like look at them and be like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, you're not it. You're not doing it for me. And they're gonna find that as being boring. Um, Yeah, like I said, which is totally backwards because we should value those people that show up for us. I'm just going through my notes. This is another one I had to do some research for and like collect my thoughts. Um, and I just want to say everything that I'm saying here is not necessarily everybody, and it's also not necessarily a conscious choice. A lot of people that seek out this chaos, that seek out these types of people, they're doing it subconsciously. Now, why are they doing it? I mean, aside from, you know, my ideas, it could also be from, childhood traumas while dating. Like I mentioned, somebody that's been in bad relationships or a marriage that didn't end up working out. And now, rather than, having that boring life that they might have had prior, they're looking for excitement. And this offers some type of excitement. I mean, I, again, don't really get it, but this is a problem because I've seen a lot of people online talk about this. I've had people come to me with issues about this. Um, and yeah, this is something that we have to look out for within ourselves. This is where being self-aware is so important because then we're able to actually look back and reflect on our past relationships to see if, energies are being matched, to see what we're doing, to see what other people are doing to us, to seeing what we accept and what we push away. Essentially, our dating hygiene. And I don't know if I'm coining this term right now or not. Um, but I thought about it and I really like this because if you think about hygiene, you know, brushing our teeth, washing our face, taking showers, things of that nature, it's something that we do often, hopefully, and it improves our physical health. And when I say dating hygiene, if we look back at the things that we're doing, it's like the things that we do often, and are they improving our dating health? Are they improving our mental health? Are they improving our love health, if that's a thing? And that's why we have to be self aware and look back and see what our dating hygiene is truly like. Are we giving people too many opportunities? Are we giving people access to ourselves that they maybe haven't earned or don't deserve? Right? Now, another one of the reasons that I think this is possible is because we live in a society where instant gratification has been very prevalent. You know, when it comes to the music we want to listen to, streaming music, you can listen to whatever song, whenever, however you want. TV, movies, same thing. I mean, even with Amazon next day delivery and things like social media, getting reactions to photos and getting access to people, like everything is so right away. And maybe that's what we're looking for when it comes to dating or talking and getting to know these types of people. Because the whole thing is like we're giving ourselves to them. And then it's like a coin toss whether they're going to validate us or whether they're just going to push us off to the side. And that's exciting in some retrospect, right? Because we don't know what we're going to get. Versus the stable person, which is where we should be directing our attention to, that they are the ones that, will always be there, uh, validate us, give us what we want. And unfortunately, that's boring for some people because they want that coin toss is, am I going to be validated or am I going to be anxious waiting for a reply? Right now, I believe there is a way around this that we can, I don't want to say like fix ourselves, but we can address the issue. Okay. But like everything in life, this is going to take work. And if you happen to resonate with the things that I'm saying, and this might sound like you, then maybe it is you take some time away and be self-aware and look back and try to evaluate your dating hygiene, and then go forward with some things I'm about to say. First, as I said, we need to evaluate our dating hygiene, dating past, matching energies, uh, reaching out. And then how long does it take before we walk away? How long are we essentially eating this shit before it leaves a bad taste in our mouth? And once we figure that out, now we know where we're going wrong. Now we know what to correct. Now, here's an exercise that I have. And this is an exercise that's good for literally anyone and everyone listening to this, even if you are in a relationship. And listen, if by listening to my podcast, I'm causing a little bit of turbulence in your relationship, I apologize. I'm sorry. But maybe there are some things that need to be addressed. So here it is. Here's the exercise. Get a pen and paper. I want you to literally do this. Write down how you want to be treated. Write down how you want someone to love you. Write down how you want someone to show appreciation. And, write down how you want someone to make you feel. That's the exercise. And after you do this, now granted, if you're in a relationship, maybe this is a good couples exercise because it can improve what you and your partner have. If you're dating, you can use this to guide you into the future. Whereas before, people might not be giving you the time or treating you the right way. Now you have this concrete, piece of paper that's like, listen, I want to be treated this way. This person's not treating me this way. Gone. That simple. And I want you to be self-aware. I want you to constantly check in with yourself. And if it helps, keep a journal, like a dating journal. Write down how you met someone. Write down what you like and dislike about them. And most importantly, I want you to be self-aware about the difference between how you feel about someone and how they make you feel. Because you can feel about, someone being funny or smart or exciting. You can feel drawn or attracted to them. But in return, they might make you feel anxious. They might make you feel lonely or fearful, or they might make you even question yourself. Like if someone's gaslighting you, then maybe they aren't for you, because that's what's going to be the reality of the relationship. It's going to be all these things about how they make you feel versus how you feel about them. And I honestly hope that with all the tools that I've given you from all my podcasts, and just to gloss over them, first being, what are you ready for? Whether it's getting yourself out there, meeting new people, dating, or something serious. What you want, such as the deal breakers. What you don't want, the red flags. And now, how you want someone to treat you and make you feel. I want you to use these tools when it comes to dating. And almost like they need to be like concrete rules that if somebody, doesn't have something that you're looking for, or has something that you're not looking for, or is not treating you the way you should be treated, then you should cut them loose. That's it. By doing this and reminding ourselves to realize that the excitement of dating isn't what gratification someone gives us right away. The excitement of dating is finding somebody who we can build a relationship together, finding somebody that gives us gratifications in other ways. Because, like you're at work and you get a raise. The excitement of being able to tell them this, that right away when something happens, you want to go and talk to this one person. And vice versa, you being that for someone else. When they have good news, they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell them. Or when something bad happens, that that when you go home, there is somebody there waiting for you to console you, someone to give you a hug and tell you that everything is going to be okay, someone that's on your side. And again, you being that for someone, that's where the excitement is. That's where the fun is. Not this, finding someone that's half in, half out, And I know, especially with online dating and in this world of online dating, that so many people are talking to multiple people at once. And it almost becomes a game for some where it's like, am I going to be the one that they choose? I mean, I'm not a big fan of that. I rather, people give others conscious effort and a real chance. Because, I mean, if you're talking to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people at once, how does anybody get to know you? You know what I mean? But I guess that's part of it. It is definitely part of it. And that adds to the excitement factor of all of this. So, I mean, I really don't know what else to say. Writing down how you want to be treated, how you want someone to make you feel, I think is the best way of deterring yourself from this. Because as you talk to someone, as you get to know them, and granted, obviously, let's just assume that you've listened to my other podcasts and you've followed those rules too, and you found someone that has the things you're looking for, and you found someone that doesn't have the things you don't want. And now you also have a map of how you want to be treated or how you want them to make you feel versus how you feel about them. I feel like that's going to set you up with success. And if you remind yourself about this list, about these things, maybe you'll stop pursuing those who are emotionally unavailable and apply your attention and time and efforts onto someone who responds and gives you the same back. And hopefully you won't think of it as them being, boring, like the title of this podcast. Anything else that I want to say about this stuff? I don't know. I mean, it's a tough and nuanced subject because a lot of people that do it don't realize they're doing it. And even by me saying it is not necessarily going to change someone's mind. They might not even recognize the fact that this is them. So, or maybe you listening to this, you realize someone that's like this. You can always point them to this podcast or, even try to give them the tips that I've given you. I mean, yeah. And I know, like just talking about perceived value, that a lot of people think that in every relationship, there's one person that's reaching and there's one person that's settling. And no one essentially wants to be the one that's settling, right? Everybody wants to be the one that's reaching. Everybody wants to be the one that's getting more than what they're worth. But that also depends on how you see yourself and what you see your worth, right? Because if you see yourself as being worthy of love and worthy of someone, then someone that's showing up for you and giving you attention and giving you love and giving you the things that you've written down, hopefully, that that's like the winning combo. See, I don't necessarily believe that there's one, reaching and one settling. I believe that there's people out there that will be our equal, match our energy. And this whole dumb idea of perceived value goes away, right? Because the excitement and the fun and the valuable are in the people who give a shit. As I've said before, you know, I only like people who like me. And I know that because somebody messaged me about it, and I know like there's some nuance to it, right? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to like someone that doesn't like me, right? Maybe I get to know someone and I start liking them the way that I feel about them. But then I realize that the way they make me feel doesn't match up. It isn't what I'm looking for. Well, see you later. Goodbye. You're not worth my time anymore. And it's literally that simple. And you know what? Sometimes it may suck. Sometimes you're not going to want to. Sometimes you're going to like live in this fantasy land where, hey, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe things will get better. No, they won't. They're not going to get better. Okay. If somebody isn't treating you the way you want to be treated, you either bring it to their, I always tell everybody, you have two options. You can bring it to their attention and talk about it and hope that that solves any issues, or you can walk away. Those are your two options. There really isn't any other options other than that, except for the third option, which is, shut up and just take it. Just live life not being treated the way you want to be treated. Now, for me, that's not an option. That's why I only said that there's two options. But some people out there, they're okay with that, because they're like, hey, I'm getting something I want despite it not being perfect. And it's like, okay, well, just because it's not perfect doesn't mean it couldn't be better. But that's your own choice. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. I mean, there might be more, but that's all I got written down at least. So yeah, on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have any questions for me or podcast ideas, you can message me at joeyfrancis.com. That's joeyfrances.com. And there you can get access to my services, my books, and of course, the form to send me a message. Thank you so much. Remember, love yourself. Love yourself. And what should I say this week? Love yourself and stay away from toxic people. Okay? Secure people are not boring. Secure people will make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Hug one. Till next time.